Good day, fellas. Welcome to the channel. It's always back. I hope you are doing good. Today, my fellow learners, I want to highlight these two concepts: the physical change, the physical change, together with the chemical change. These two properties, the physical change as well as the chemical change. Then, what do we mean by the concept of the physical change? It's when the chemical identity of the substance does not change, but only change the state of matter. You'll see. I'm going to make some examples. Then, for a chemical change, it's when now the chemical identity of the substance changes. See, changes. Check. Suppose if I take water, the solid phase, in a solid phase, maybe an ice cube, in a solid phase, I allow it to melt. It will change from a solid phase to what? To a liquid phase after a while. You see, we can clearly see that the H2O is the same in both, but now the only difference is what? It's a phase change. It's a state of matter which has changed, but its identity is still H2O. H2O. We still have H2O, and this side H2O will still have it. But now the only phase that has changed now is the state of matter. You see? Hence we said that the definition, it's when the chemical identity of a substance does not change, which is H2O, still the same in both, but change the state of matter from solid to liquid, or even more, from liquid to gas. You see, from liquid to gas. The state or the identity, the identity of water is still H2O in each and every phase. You see, then now, which are those properties now which give us the physical change of the substance? Firstly, we are going to have a situation of solid to liquid. We call that a melting. Melting, when we melt some ice from solid to liquid. The change that takes place is a physical one. You see, we also have from liquid to gas. have boiling, or let's say evaporation. See, then solid solid to liquid, it's what? It's melting. From this one, we said it's from liquid to gas, evaporation as well as boiling. Then now from solid straight to gas, we call such the sublimation. From solid straight to gas, we call such the sublimation. Then now let us do the reverse. From gas to liquid, call condensation, or let's say condense. From gas to liquid, then what do we call that process when we change a state of matter from liquid to solid? Freezing. See, from liquid to solid, freezing, solid. Then, or from gas straight to solid is deposition. You see, deposition from gas to solid. Some physical properties, we speak of those which is malleable and ductile. See, especially for materials such as copper, we can easily bend them or stretch them. You see, can easily bend those materials. We say those are malleable and ductile. Then now let us consider what a chemical change is. When a chemical identity of a substance changes. Now let's say if I have H2O, we allow H2O to decompose. Now it will form H2 plus O2. You see, there's no need for us to balance it now, because I just want to explain the concept of what? Of chemical change. You see, oh, it's fine, let us balance it because it's so simple. We put 2 is 4 hydrogen, 2 here, it's 4, we have 2, it's fine. See, then okay, check now. On our left hand we had what? H2O. Then on our right hand side we had H2 as well as O2. You see, the chemical identity of the substance has changed now. We have something which is totally different compared to this one. We had water, H2O, H2O, but on this side we have something which is totally different. You see, totally different. We have hydrogen as well as oxygen. You see, then what are those properties now that falls under the chemical change? We speak of now combustion, the burning of fossil fuel is when, let's say, we decide to take the hydrocarbon in the presence of what now? Of oxygen, and allow it to burn to give us somehow what? Water and what? And carbon dioxide. Let's say if we take ethane and allow it to burn with oxygen, we are going to get H2O, carbon dioxide. See, we call those what? Combustion. We also have another one which is corrosive. Corrosive or rusting. Or rusting. See, such we call the chemical changes. When the substance corrode with another, such we call them the chemical changes. An example that I might use in this one is when, let's say, if we consider an ion to react with oxygen, at the end of the day we are going to get an ion oxide. We can clearly see at this point that this compound, it is totally different from each of these. We have ion, we have oxygen, but on our right hand side we have iron oxide. You see, they are totally different. And another thing that you must know under the chemical change, when there is a color change or the change of color, when we allow two substances to react, or when we mix two substances, then after the, let's say we decide to observe and see the color change, such will give us an idea that the change that is taking place there is that of a chemical change. Then another one, we also have flammability, flammable. Such substances which are flammable, we say they fall under the chemical change. Another one include pH. You see, those are what are the chemical change. But in order for us to differentiate between the physical as well as chemical change, is that for the physical change, the only thing that changes, it is the state of matter, but not the identity of what of that substance. But under the chemical change, what changes now is the identity of what of that substance. Like here we had water, but on our right hand side with two different elements, which is hydrogen as well as oxygen. You see, at this point I wanted to clarify the difference between the physical change as well as the chemical change. See, I thank you fellows and enjoy.